Hi folks, welcome back. This episode, I'm going to start pulling some bits off this old Landy. I need these axles to get my new chassis rolling, but I figured as it's freezing cold outside and removing the axles will immobilize it, I'll pull the engine and gearbox out inside where it's slightly warmer, not that much though. Anyway, let's crack on. Removing the engine and gearbox is pretty straightforward on one of these. You need pretty basic tools, socket spanners, screwdrivers, and a grinder is always helpful for any bolts that don't want to come undone. At this stage, I didn't want to remove any bodywork unless I needed to, like the seat box or the floors inside. I wanted to keep everything as intact as possible, just so I didn't have parts lying around all over the place. Now, if you're not going to be removing any bodywork like I have here, you need to make sure that your engine crane can actually lift high enough to clear the front panel. My engine crane doesn't lift high enough, but that was easily overcome by just letting the air out of the front tires. That gave me enough clearance just to clear the front panel. So here's the engine pretty much as I've pulled it. There's not a lot wrong with this engine. It runs quite well. So I think all I'm going to do is replace some gaskets, rear main seal, and give it a bit of a rattle can rebuild, and then put it straight back in. And I'll just keep running this engine until I figure out what I'm going to do with my 2.5 litre over here. So yeah, let's have a look at the gearbox. I mounted the gearbox up on this engine stand just so I could give it a good clean. She had about an inch of crodle over her, most of which I had to take off with a scraper. And she's come up okay, but unfortunately she's got issues. I mean, she still drives okay, still shifts, doesn't pop out of gear, but I found quite a few bits of metal inside the oil when I drained it. There's bits of synchro springs, a few teeth. Here, I'll show you. So here you can see bits of the synchro spring. Unfortunately, it looks like it's been all the way through the gearbox and taken out a few teeth while it was doing that. Quite a lot of sparkles in the oil too. So yeah, not good. Now, of course, I'm going to go and do the sensible thing and rebuild this gearbox right now. Nope, definitely not. They have been known to soldier on just fine with issues like this. And coming up to Christmas, I don't have the money to rebuild this right now. They're quite expensive. What I will do is I'll replace the seal over here, and I might even slide in a new spring for the synchro. But that's it. I'll be going straight back into the chassis like this, and then when I can afford it, I'll pull it out again. It'll be easy enough. I've got a removable cross member there on that new chassis, so yeah, it's just going straight back in pretty much as it is with a little bit of work, and that's it. I might look at getting a replacement known good gearbox, but until this one fails, there's no point in doing anything with it. If it fails, it might not. It probably will though, won't it? Never mind. Anyway, time to get this Landy outside to its sort of final resting spot, get her up on blocks and whip those axles off. That's kind of what I was hoping to achieve this episode. Need to get that new chassis rolling. Suppose I better get on with it then. Unfortunately, things have slowed down a lot in my shed. It's been far too cold to paint some stuff some days, and also with Christmas and New Year, it's just a lot of stuff getting in the way. But the axles are back on. I stripped them down, primed, painted them, and I've just stuck them back on without assembling. I put in the shafts in and putting the hubs on, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and then I can finally get the chassis on its wheels. Right, there we go, one rolling chassis. I decided to chuck the gearbox in. I have actually opened that up and had a good look around for some more debris inside. While I was working on it, put new output shaft seals, new input shaft seal, new selector shaft seals, new gear lever, a few gaskets. I actually managed to find Aroma Drive sump. They don't actually supply them separately anymore, but I contacted them and I had like some factory second ones, and they sold me one of those and can't actually find anything wrong with it. So hopefully I won't have any leaks. I did also fit these push fit fittings where the breathers go on top, so they'll be piped up the bulkhead. That's also just so they don't get clogged up and cause leaks as well. Like I said, I'm just going to run with this gearbox. I don't know where those teeth came from. I couldn't actually see where they came from when I was in there with my inspection camera, but it did shift fine, it drove fine, no silly noises or anything like that, so it's just going to stay in there until it starts giving problems. The axles turned out really well. They're all piped up with their brake lines, new swivels, new brake drums. The brake kits I got from LOF clutches, LOF clutches. They came as a kit for the front and a kit for the rear. There's a link in the description for them if you want to have a look. Next up is going to be the engine. That's kind of just getting rattle can rebuild. I will replace the crankshaft seals, and then it's getting chucked in here. But that's going to actually be for next episode because I've run out of money and I need to go back to work. Get more money to plow into this thing. So yeah, it'll be engine next episode, and I'll probably get the exhaust and the prop shafts on. And then once that's all done, that's pretty much the chassis finished, and then it's onto bodywork, which is definitely my least favorite. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you want to see the engine and all the other bits and bobs, tune in again next time, and you can stay up to date with the progress of it. But anyway, if you could, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It does help the channel out. And yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.